Welcome to Womb Talk. I'm your host, Elizabeth Vanderbilt, the owner and founder of Food for Womb Doula Services. In Womb Talk, we like to go over different topics that are acceptable for all audiences. We're not medical professionals. Everything on this podcast is to educate you so that you can make better choices for your body. If you have a passion for all things women's health, then let's start listening. It's a wide range of subjects that are at your fingertips. So, don't forget to check us out on social media. We're on a lot of platforms. Let's start talking, shall we? I'm so honored to be saying that this is the last episode of season 2. Yay! And whether you're listening on Spotify or you're on Amazon Music or all the other platforms, YouTube, I am so blessed for every single one of you taking a listen with all the incredible people that I have got to meet, who I have got to work with, and the conversations that have just been had. And we actually stuck with it for a whole year. I'm very grateful to everyone who has taken a deep dive into seeing how it's worked. It was going like once a month, and then it went to every 2 weeks, and then it was going to every week. And that's because people kept listening and people kept messaging me and talking to me about it. And I'm so glad that something that I'd worked very hard on and do work very hard on is actually getting a chance to be heard by people like you. So this is my very big thank you to you and a welcome if you're new to listening here, and check out all the other episodes. So this episode today is going to be taking a big, deep dive into listening to our bodies and how that's really hard work. So let's talk about listening to your body and what does that exactly mean? I mean, let's be real here. How difficult is it to actually listen to your body and know what it's saying? I mean, obviously it can't talk to us like the way I'm talking to you or how you talk to me. So how do we know the cues that it's trying to pick up? How can we make sure that we're actually protecting ourselves and treating ourselves with the love and glory of being human and being ourselves? First off, people go on. And we've talked about it in this podcast. We've talked about, oh my God, so many different type of things on how self-care is important for you and how it can help you prevent burnout. It can help you improve your overall health, and it can boost your resilience. But it's continuously brought up. And what does it mean? How does it help you? And how do we know that it's like a lost art? Because we have to admit that today we are living in a very fast-paced environment. We are going constantly, day in and day out, to this activity, to that item, to work, to all these different steps. Whereas once upon a time, and I'm talking hundreds and hundreds of years ago, before even your granny was here, we had different times. We had different lives. Now, we're unsure if they've lived the perfect, healthiest lives ever. I mean, there are many reports of people dying quite young, and overall, it's just a very in-depth kind of topic. So, how can we, in today's fast-paced environment, keep up with self-care and not be burnt out trying to do all the things while trying to maintain self-care? And honestly, I'm just going to speak from personal experience. You could be religious, you could not be, but I have always taken one day off for all week long. And that doesn't have to be firmly saying, okay, I'm just going to sit and do nothing. It's going to be sit and do what you want to do. So make that a day where if you have a hobby like gaming or crafting, maybe like crocheting, maybe scrapbooking, whatever it should be, make it one day that you just do what you want to do. Just any day. If you're constantly going, your body has no time to hypothetically sit and smell the roses. And although I'm never smelling roses, I am sitting or I am doing something that I'm passionate about that is more of a hobby and isn't a money-making activity or a work kind of theme activity. If you love gardening and sitting with the flowers, that's not work to you. Does this make sense? Like, it is about listening and taking care of yourself as much as possible. And so self-care, I find we're constantly going on about how we need to do mindfulness activities like yoga and deep breathing and mindful movement. Let's do journaling. Let's do all these kind of things. But let's be real here. If you hate that with a passion, or it's something you just can't keep up, it is not your type of self-care. That is becoming a chore, and chores are work. Now, of course, we some have chores of responsibility. I live on a farm. You wake it up and you're doing the chores every morning, regardless if it's your rest day or not. But it is about practicing things that bring you happiness. When was the last time I ask you, like, when was the last time that you just sat down and did whatever you wanted to do? And after that, then you went and did something else you wanted to do just because you felt like it. You didn't sit and do something that you're just doing for the sake of trying to self-care and all those sorts of things. You want to make sure that you're prioritizing yourself. And that's where a rest day, and what I'm a firm believer in, is a rest day gives your body that opportunity to rest. To be like, hey, we didn't go out today and that was okay. We were fine home. We were fine just in the garden, or we went to the beach or to a park, or whatever you did that was just calming and something you wanted to do. And sometimes your activities can be calming in nature. Say you do yoga 3 times a week or once a week or whatever your routine is. If that's a calming time for you, then sure, it's not seen as work. But oftentimes, there's a lot of we're doing this just because we signed up for it. And sometimes those kind of priorities can really lay heavy on our bodies. So once we get a chance to just sit with ourselves almost and just do something that we really like to do, we find that we are learning to prioritize ourselves, because then you're resting and giving yourself rest, not just when you need it, but kind of, I don't know if I'm getting the words out exactly on how I wanted to say this for you, but it's just about engaging in activities that bring you joy and satisfaction, where at the same time you are resting, you are eating when you're hungry, you drink when you're needed, and you're not doing something because you felt like you had to, if that makes sense, because that's the message I'm trying to send to you. So if you love journaling and you're doing that already, great. You are adding intentionally things to your day. And if you can't sit for a whole day, then that's where taking those moments to do something for you is very important. And it's very hard. I fully understand that it is hard when you have children or you have other type of responsibilities that just can't be ignored. If you have a partner, that is also very tricky because you need to give of yourself to them. But even for your partner and yourself, you both should have moments to yourself where you can just be you, do what you want to do, and not feel a pressure of being very stringent and needed and necessary. So that will help us listen to our bodies and can help us maybe understand our needs better. That can help you maybe pay attention to physical sensations. So do you notice yourself when you feel hungry? Are you paying attention to when you feel thirsty, or are you tired? Is there pain or discomfort somewhere? And oftentimes when we're focused on health manner, our body is sending us signals by giving us pain or issues. So it is giving you a chance to notice that something is going on. Oftentimes in female health, hypothetically, if your period is missing, or you're having a very heavy period, or there's spotting beforehand, or your ovulation is off track, you have long periods, or whatever the rhythm is, your body is trying to tell you something. And as women, we need to clearly listen with our periods, because they are normally a first kind of sign that something is off. And that leads us into bigger things. And I hope, not to come off salesies, but I hope you're following my YouTube channel, because this week I will be posting a video there about my journey, my self-care journey, and trying to take care of myself. So I really hope you pay attention and watch that one, because it is like lived experience, and I'm hoping to share that with everyone, and I'm being very vulnerable there. So I want, from observing not only your physical sensations, I want you to start focusing on the emotional. Now, of course, if you're like me, you could find a drag to, maybe you feel like it's a bit of a drag to write all these things down, but if you can, for even a moment, just observe your emotional state from head to toe a little bit and just be like, what am I feeling right now? And maybe you're feeling this, like an impact from those emotions into your physical. And when I talk about my whole body health approach, it's bringing that mention because our emotions play a tie into our physical. And that is something very highly overlooked with a lot of different healthcare practitioners because they focus more on just the physical when our emotional plays such a key aspect into things. So from there, that comes to the final aspect of it is about recognizing patterns. So are there specific situations or maybe there's activities that can trigger certain physical or emotional responses? So how is your body reacting to things when a person maybe comes into your life? So say you met a new friend and you have different outings now with her and a new lifestyle has come up. So how do you react in that situation? Pay attention afterwards. Do you feel drained? Do you feel uplifted? Do you feel like those feelings can play a part into how your body will react to certain things? And they play very big cues on and on. So to really enhance your well-being, you want to pay attention to your body and you need to learn how to speak you. And it's very hard because we are taught growing up, we speak English. We focus on the outside. I can see you smiling. That means you should be happy. I can see you are angry by the way your face is contorted. And I could see the way by your crying, you're either sad or something is very joyfully funny. And I put that in there because I cry often when I find things joyfully funny. So to do that, you need to learn to speak the language of you. And it's very hard because it is a lot of internal work. And I think as human beings, we just struggle with things we can't see. And since physically, maybe we're fine, emotionally, maybe we're not, it's to deal with that internal workings. And that can help you, in turn, take a big play into your physical health. So I know that this was maybe a bit of a shorter episode, but we had a bit of a change in the schedule, so we're going to have an amazing episode next Monday. It is going to talk greatly about why different women need to be in your circle, why you need a village as women. And I'm so excited. The guest speakers I got in there were fantastic. The conversation was lively, and I so encourage you to stay tuned for next week's premiere, as well as a little giveaway I'm putting together, hopefully. So make sure you stay tuned. And I'm just so excited for all the things that are coming to fruition with Fruitful Womb Doula Services and for you to be on this journey. And I hope that after listening to this and getting a few insights, maybe you can take the art of listening to you a little bit further as well. And maybe that will help in turn reduce your stress, enhance your well-being, and just boost the kindness you have for yourself. Because in the end, we need to nurture ourselves just like you would a child, just like you would an elderly person, and just like you should your neighbor. I hope you have a wonderful day, a very blessed life coming up, and stay tuned for much, much more.